Klaus Larres is a professor of history and international affairs at the University of North Carolina. He joins me now from Chapel Hill. Professor, do you see these talks as a diplomatic breakthrough between the EU and Belarus? What expectations do you have for them?
Yes, there probably are. I mean, they're called technical talks because the EU does not recognize the Lukashenko regime. It has, serious doubts about the last presidential elections, which Lukashenko claimed to have won. So they can't enter into official diplomatic talks. But technical talks is basically an excuse for being able to hold talks after all. And it's the EU and various UN agencies which will be talking to the Belarus authorities. And that could bring a solution to the crisis. We know it's a terrible situation at the border. There are at least 3,000 to 4,000 refugees stranded in that no man's land between Belarus and Poland. And both police forces, the Belarusian ones and also the Polish police forces, have really treated the refugees with great brutality. And the winter is coming. It's becoming very cold, freezing temperatures. So a solution needs urgently to be found.
And as you said, the EU does not recognize Lukashenko's regime. So how is it likely to approach the negotiations with him without lending legitimacy?
Well, this is, of course, a problem, and the Polish authorities are very critical about that. The German Chancellor Merkel talked to Lukashenko on the telephone to bring these talks about, and Poland and also the Baltic states were very critical because they said that that does give legitimacy to the Belarus president. But what can you do? Talks need to be held. And I think I recommended that a week ago in one of your interviews. And I think that is the right way to proceed because the situation is terrible. Of course, Lukashenko will claim that that is a recognition of his regime, that the EU has given in, and that he was right after all. He will always claim that, but I think we have to ignore that. The solution needs to be found for the sake of the refugees, for the sake of finding a humanitarian resolution to this terrible crisis. And everyone knows, I think the wider world knows, that Lukashenko is a dictator, Europe's last dictator, that he did not win the last elections, and that no one will be deceived by Lukashenko claiming the opposite.
Okay, we'll leave it there for now. Professor Klaus Larres joining us from Chapel Hill. Thank you.